Hey Ecclesia, glad y'all are here with us again virtually. I'm tired of not seeing your faces in person, but we love y'all, we miss you, and Melody's gonna take us through a couple of things. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So to start out with, today at 2 p.m., we will be having our racial justice conversation. And Gina's been leading those, and they've been great. If you haven't been attending and you would like a link to the Zoom call, let us know and we'll get that to you. We are going to be talking about Ahmaud Arbery this week, and we're going to be talking about an article that was shared through an organization called Missio Alliance. So you can read that article and find out what's going on there, and that's what we're going to discuss this week.
Yeah, I guess we'll put a link to that article out on the website.
Yeah, we
I can do that
too.
tonight, which is today, which is when you're watching
It's
it,
fine.
which is the day before.
Everything's fine and normal.
It's all
The second thing I wanted to talk about was the email that I sent out yesterday, and I wanted to just voice that to you all as well, with just some reminders about why it is that we're not meeting right now in person. And so when we started this thing, when they told us we weren't able to meet, it was because we wanted to flatten the curve, and we wanted to make it easier for hospitals to be able to deal with what could have potentially become an overflow of COVID cases. That seems to be working, especially in our area. So the cases and deaths have been relatively low, which is a good thing. But we know that this virus is still out there. We know that there is still no vaccine for it. And we know that generally we're being encouraged to stay at home as much as possible, and we're being encouraged to limit our circles to less than 10 people. And those are directions that we want to take seriously. So when we were told by our government that we were allowed to meet as a religious organization, we really asked the question about what we wanted to do with that privilege that was given to us. And so what I mean by privilege here is that we're allowed to meet, and we're kind of the exception to the rule for the rest of society, for the rest of the people, the community around us. So what do we want to do with that privilege? Do we want to risk spreading the virus? Do we want to exclude maybe people who are vulnerable and don't feel comfortable coming out in this, or who do have vulnerabilities? And we just didn't feel like we could comfortably say that it was time for us to meet again. So we have chosen to continue to meet virtually. We are doing that through the end of May, and probably into June, with reevaluating about every 2 weeks on what we could do to potentially meet again, and safeguards we could take, and ways that we could do that well. And some of that might include meeting outside, it might be testing with small groups, and there's just a lot of different options that we could go with right now. But for now, we are keeping it virtual. But check in every week and we'll keep you posted on any new developments that happen there. So
Yeah. And we'll also have more information on the COVID page.
Yes.
I think there's also tornado information there, which I know there's still relief needed there, but you can check that out from the website as well. We'll post Melody's note and anything else that we have as we reevaluate.
yeah.
Yep. The last thing I want to mention, Tithely. So there's been a few reports of folks who've had issues giving through Tithely. I know our reoccurring giving stopped, but we were able to give one time. And so if you're having any issues, let us know, or let John know. We're trying to work through that with Tithely. But thank you. You can always mail a check, like old-fashioned style.
Old school.
Send a bundle of cash or whatever you want to do. But also just a continued reminder to continue to be generous to those around you too. So if you have, and you know of people who have not, see what you can do to help them out. But I think that's it. So we love y'all. We miss
Love
you.
you.
And we'll see you soon, I hope.